What is subconscious momentum and what does it have to do with addictions? Hello, my name is Nicholas with Addiction Freedom. Imagine that this is you and here's the addiction. Imagine the addiction has a big pull like a planet has a lot of gravity. So you have this addiction and the longer you stay with the addiction, the more the addiction is going to pull you into it. The more you'll be trapped, the less power you'll have to get out of it, the more it's going to damage your willpower, your way of life. And if a long enough time goes by, you'll get so submerged by the addiction that it will be almost impossible to get out just because of how strong the subconscious mind is. If you've been doing something for 5, 10, 15 years, your subconscious mind is going to be so well accustomed to that habit, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit, that it's going to defend it with more force than the conscious mind can override with just decision or willpower or anything like that. The subconscious mind is much more powerful. So here's you right now. You haven't lost your willpower yet because you still are determined to quit. You still want to quit and free yourself from this way of living. So here you are on top of the addiction. You can move around. You can't escape yet, but this is what's going on. It feels like this addiction has a great pull on you. So every time you try to quit, you get these urges, you get these addictive thoughts that come back to you. Where are they coming from? And why does it feel like you're stuck? It's because the subconscious mind is that powerful. That's why it's so mysterious. That's why it feels like there's another part of you that's not ready to quit yet. That's the subconscious mind. It doesn't know the difference between good or bad. So don't take it personally. It's just doing what it does. So if you want to escape any planet, just for this metaphor, you need to reach escape velocity. You need to go fast enough so that you can break free of the planet's gravity. You can break free of the addictive pull through the subconscious. You need to build momentum. What do I mean by that? To build subconscious momentum, things that you are mentally and or emotionally invested in, like you do something and it makes you feel good, those things build subconscious momentum. Things that you repeat often, those build subconscious momentum. And things that you anticipate and think about doing again in the future, those thoughts build subconscious momentum. If you combine all three of these, if you come up with a routine or an action that combines all three of these, you're going to create the most momentum possible within the subconscious. So this is what subconscious momentum is. It's taking some sort of action that gives you a feel good, that gives you some sort of feel good vibration. It's reflecting on what you've done and reflecting on what you're going to do in the future as time goes on. And it's repeating this thing, whether it's a routine like the 533 routine I developed to help people get out of an addiction extremely fast, or any other routine. Maybe it's like going to the gym. Maybe it's a routine like smoking a cigarette. It could be a bad routine that you don't want to do anymore. It doesn't matter. Repetition, reflection, some sort of action, this creates momentum. When you have enough momentum, you start to move. And if you do this enough, and if you build up enough momentum over a week, a month, a couple months, you'll be moving so fast that you will escape the addiction. There's too much momentum. The addiction doesn't stand a chance. Your subconscious mind is going to pull you out of the addiction, just like it tried to help defend the addiction. It will also, if you aim it correctly, and if you repeat certain tasks, and if you do this routine, if you change how you're aiming your thoughts, it will pull you away from the addiction. The subconscious mind is more powerful than the addiction. I promise. Your subconscious mind is way more powerful than any addiction you have. Repetition, plus your conscious imagination, plus time, which is these three things, this creates the momentum. This is how you break free. So another way of thinking about this is it's like a spiraling upward, okay? You're building momentum and it's spiraling you up and out of the addiction. It takes one force, reflection, it takes another force, action, and then you have to repeat this through time. Any kind of reflection works. Reading your past writings. This is probably the most potent that at least I've experienced and that I've heard from people who have used the routine to get out of an addiction. They've all stated reading your past writings is a very powerful, sometimes emotional experience. This is why it has so much impact. This is why I think you should do it over everything else. Going for a walk and thinking about the reasons why you want to quit, meditation, prayer, all of these are forms of reflection. Then you have your action. You could be writing or speaking. When you go to, say, you go to a therapist or a counselor, if you're talking to a counselor or a therapist, that talking, that is action. That's articulation. That's a very powerful form of action. Pen and paper, writing down your thoughts, changing your thoughts specifically, aiming your thought when you catch yourself thinking about X, Y, and Z, and you know you don't want to be thinking about those things. If you can catch yourself in the moment and consciously change your thoughts to A, B, and C, not X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z are negative. You don't want to be thinking about these things anymore, but they still arise into your conscious mind. They still pop up. So if you can catch them and change those thoughts, change those vibrations, that's another form of action. Some people refer to it as transmutation. Doing and going, just maybe go for a walk, go to the gym, maybe go do something around the house that you know you need to do that you've been putting off for a couple weeks for some reason, right? These are actions. So, actions and reflections, if you repeat this through time, it's going to spiral you up. It's going to create a lot of momentum within your subconscious mind. This is going to unlock you and free you from the addiction. This is how it works with all human beings. It just takes longer time for different people because everybody's different. There's a couple types of actions, but mostly there's listening to somebody talk about their addiction or story. That's a very powerful one. That's why, YouTube and the internet is so powerful. You can reflect on how other people dealt with it. There's reading and reflecting on your past writings. This is the most powerful, I think, in my opinion. There's creating new writings. You can just sit down for 3 or 5 minutes and write about why you want to change. Do not underestimate the power of writing. This writing creates thinking. Thinking creates images. Images determine how you see yourself and how you see the world. Ask yourself, ask the universe, what little things can I do that will help me feel more clear and more healthy? These are types of actions that you can be doing every day to help build momentum to get you out of the addiction. There's three kinds of ways of going about action. There's the heat of the moment. So, like, maybe you're going about your life and then you get your addictive urges, you get those addictive thoughts coming back to you. Okay, that's the heat of the moment. You're now in battle. You're now fighting with that addiction, and don't fight with it, okay? Just live your life. Don't fight with yourself and create more negative energy inside of you. Don't do that. But right before or right after you do the addiction, take some sort of action. Respond to the heat of the moment by taking some action. Maybe that means reading your past writings for 2 or 3 minutes. Or maybe that means you go for a walk. Or maybe that means you go to the gym. Like something in the heat of the moment, right before or after you do it, take some sort of action. Then there's rhythmic, which is what I personally found helpful in my life, and other people as well have reported that yes, this is powerful. Doing the routine in the morning and then doing the routine at night. That is just a nice rhythmic way of approaching this, of creating action, of creating a repetition-based form of action, of subconscious momentum creation. Rhythmic. Do something in the morning, do something at the night. Don't ever skip it. That's just what you do now. After enough time goes by, it will have a huge impact on the addiction, and you will free yourself. And then there's the spontaneous, which is not as common, but if you are going about your life and you have a random addictive thought that comes to you, just right there in the moment, it's spontaneous, you're living your life, and it comes to you. React to that spontaneous event by saying to yourself what you want to say. Like, no, that's just a random thought. No, that's just an addictive urge. Oh, no, that's just my subconscious mind again trying to get me to do the addiction. It's a spontaneous event. So react to the spontaneous event with some sort of action, whether it's spoken word, whether you're just saying something out loud, or maybe you react to it spontaneously by just going for a walk, whatever it is. These are just rough concepts for you to contemplate. So when you're dealing with your addiction, know it's going to take time to build up momentum. But when you do build up enough momentum, if you don't stop, if you keep doing these things, eventually 2 months, 4 months. For me, it was 11 months. For some people, it's much less time. But eventually, your subconscious mind is going to know, hey, this addiction is not good. We need to work away from it. We need to find ways of getting away from this addiction. The subconscious mind is going to start to turn away from the addiction and pull you out of it. That's what the subconscious mind does. It's a force. It's this hidden, natural, ancient force within us that is both a gift and a curse. It will it will get you out of addictions, and it will at the same time keep you a prisoner inside of your addictions. It's all about how you use it and what you hand over to it every day. That's what determines what it's going to protect and what it's going to defend. Anyway, my name is Nicholas. I appreciate you clicking on the video. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.